Today we will see another particular case that it's going to be the particular case of the special product with common terms. So if we remember the rule for a special product with common terms, it will be applying the same. So if we check here, it will be the square of the common terms because we can have more than one. So the square of the common terms plus the sum of the non-common terms multiplied by the common term plus the product of the non-common terms. So the rule is going to be something like this: x plus y plus a multiplied by x plus y plus b. So it's going to be the square of the common terms, so that's why we have x plus y squared, plus the sum of the non-common terms, a plus b multiplied by the common terms, x plus y, plus the product of the non-common terms, in this case a times b. So let's see some examples of how to apply this rule of the particular case with common terms. In this case, we need to look for those terms that are exactly the same in both parentheses. So we have 5x and plus 2y, so it's going to be the square of the common terms plus the addition of the non-common terms multiplied by the common terms plus the product of the non-common terms. So in this case, it's going to be this one. Remember, it's a binomial squared, so it's like having a plus b squared. So it's going to be a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So in this case, we are going to have 25x squared. Then we are going to have 2 times 5x multiplied by 2y. Maybe you can do it by mind. Plus, it's going to be 4y squared. Then it's going to be plus minus 2 that multiplies 5x plus 2y minus 35. So we will get something like 25x squared plus 20xy plus 4y squared minus, remember when we have this one, this minus 2 will multiply the two of them, so it's going to be minus 10x minus 4y minus 35. So we need to put it in the correct order. So the correct order is going to be 25x squared minus 10x plus 20xy plus 4y squared minus 4y minus 35. And this is going to be our final and ordered answer. So as we saw, it's only applying the rule. It's almost the same like binomials with common terms. So it's the common terms squared plus the sum of the non-common multiplied by the common plus the product of the non-common terms. So let's check other example. So let's check in the next case. It's something similar, exercise 2. So we need to check for those that are common terms in both parentheses. That means 9x to the 4 and also minus 5x squared. So the rule is the common terms squared plus the addition of the non-common terms multiplied by the common terms plus the product of the non-common terms. So it's going to be something like this. Remember this part, it's like having a minus b squared. So it's going to be a squared plus minus 2ab plus b squared. So we are going to get something like 81 x to the 8. Then it's going to be minus 2 times 9x to the 4 multiplied by 5x squared plus 25x to the 4th. Then it's going to be plus 17x that multiplies 9x to the 4 minus 5x squared plus 70x. So we are getting something like 81 x to the 8 minus 90 x to the 6. Remember, we need to add the powers, 4 plus 2 plus 25 x to the 4. Then we will get this one multiplies this one and this one, so we will get 17 times 9 it's going to be plus 153 x to the 4, and x it's going to be x to the 5th. Then it's going to be 17 times minus 5, so it's going to be minus 85 x to the 1, x to the 2, it's going to be x to the 3 plus 70. Here I forgot, it's 70x squared because x and x it's x squared. So the correct order of the answer is going to be 81 x to the 8 minus 90 x to the 6 plus 25 x to the 4. I'm sorry, no, plus 153 x to the 5th plus 25 x to the 4 minus 85 x cubed plus 70 x squared. And this is going to be our final and ordered answer. So as we saw, it's the same using the specific formula, the common terms squared plus the addition of the non-common multiplied by the commons plus the product of the non-common terms. So let's see another example. So the next exercise is going to be with fractions, but it's the same. We need to put those that are common terms, in this case these two of them. So it's going to be following the rule. The common terms squared plus the addition of the non-common terms multiplied by the common terms plus the product of the non-common terms so it's going to be something like this: 49 over 4 a to the 4th plus 2 times 7 halves a squared multiplied by 4 thirds of b cubed. Then it's going to be plus, we need to make the addition, we need to have same denominator, so it's going to be minus 10/8 of c plus 9/8 of c. That will multiply 7 halves a squared plus 4 thirds of b cubed. Then it's going to be minus 9 times 5, it's 45. 4 times 8, it's 32 c squared. So we will have something like 49 quarters a to the 4th. Then it's going to be plus 28 thirds a squared b cubed. Then it's going to be plus minus 1/8 of c, that will multiply 7/2 of a squared plus 4/3 of b cubed minus 45/32 c squared. So we need to continue with this one, and it's going to be 49/4, 8 to the 4 plus 28/3 a squared b cubed minus, it's going to be 7/16 a squared c minus, it's going to be 4 and 8, we can simplify it, so it's going to be only 2 on the bottom part, so it's going to be 1/6 b cubed c minus 45/32 c squared. So the correct order of the answer, it's going to be as it is, because we have a fourth, a third, a second b, a second c, minus 1/6 of b cubed c, minus 45/32 c squared. So that's going to be our correct and ordered answer. So as we saw, with fractions, maybe it can get a little long process, or it can be a very long process, but it's the same, applying the rule of particular case of special products with common terms. So let's see one last example. So in the last example, we are going to have letters as exponents, but don't worry, it's the same. So we need to put those that are common terms squared. So it's going to be 7x to the 2b plus 1 minus 3x to the 2 minus b, all of it squared, plus the addition of the non-common terms, multiplied by the common terms, plus the product of the non-common terms. So it's going to be something like 49x to the 4b plus 2. Then it's going to be minus 2 times 7x to the 2v plus 1 multiplied by 3x 2 minus b. Then it's going to be plus, it's going to be minus 4x to the b, that will multiply 7x to the 2b plus 1 minus 3x to the 2 minus b minus 45x, and it's going to be b plus b, it's 2b, so it's going to be 49x to the 4b plus 2 minus, it's going to be 42x to b minus b, it's b, 1 plus 2, it's 3. Then it's going to be minus 7 times 4, 28x to the 3v plus 1, minus multiplied by minus is plus, 4 times 3, it's 12x, b minus b disappeared, so it's going to be x squared. Then it's going to be minus 45x to the 2b. So we need to put it in the correct order, and it's going to be 49x to the 4b plus 2 minus 28x to the 3v plus 1 minus 45x to the 2b. Then it's going to be minus 42x to the b plus 3, and finally plus 12x squared. And this is going to be our final and ordered answer. So as we saw, applying the particular case of a special product with common terms, it's only following the rule that it's almost the same like in binomials with common terms. So now you can do the activity that it's up of particular case of special products with common terms.